Hey everyone! So I'm working a little bit on, well, on everything technically, because that's what I usually do. I bought a new tool. I'm gonna try this out. This is a drill attachment for the rivet gun, or rivet gun attachment for the drill. There you go. That's the correct way of saying it. You got some rivets and stuff to rivet. So I made this little bar here with the lights because it's kind of hard to see the trailer lights, so it's unsafe. All right, I said it. It's unsafe to drive like this, so I thought it'd be nice to just add a bar here, so whoever's driving behind me can see, decent lights. It's contrasting and everything. So I'm gonna try to rivet with the new tool these pieces in place. And see how it goes. I'm going to rivet from the other side because this is the thicker part, this is the thinner part. So mark it up and get it done. Alright, let me show you the other stuff I have done already. So I tried to raise up this part because I think maybe somebody sat on it, because this is like an imprint of an S right here, which is very likely would happen because this is just thin fiberglass, it doesn't hold anything. So now this is more level. I'm gonna put a plank across, or I'm gonna rivet something soft like rubbery just across. Still have that white stuff I used before for the radiator stuff, which is inside there, so that should just work fine. And then to take the hood off, I just go like this and out. It's gonna be up and this way. It makes no freaking sense to you right now, I presume, but whatever, it'll make sense to me. I'm gonna do more wires, which is kind of usual, I guess. I want to try to get it done. I want to clean out the wires here in the trunk. The trunk lid, there's a bunch of wires for like the number plate light, I think was here. And yeah, it was right there. And there was a wiper, so I'm gonna undo all that. The rear defrost stuff we don't really use, it's no longer plugged in, so I'm debating to just remove it actually. So I might just take it out. Worst case, I'll just do plus and minus and just plug it in, because there's just two connectors and that's it. If I want to use it in the future through a switch, I have a spare fuse. And I want to put an extra brake light, so it'd be number 4 somewhere here where I'm pointing, just because when you're following somebody and there's, let's say, sun behind, you don't see the lights that easily. So I mean, it's racing, so you kind of know where you're braking and stuff like that. But I'm gonna put an extra light dangling from this bar probably, or right there on the thing there, the harness bar, whatever. Well, I'll decide where. And they're just gonna be the lights, extra light. I got the LEDs. So I got this guy here. Let me get in the shade. So I got this guy here. This is the poorest quality thing I've ever seen, but it has like metal case, LEDs and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna put it on. Probably it'll be like that. So it'll be extra safety thingy. I'm gonna do it on both cars. I'm gonna do it on that car too, and probably do it on the other 2 cars as well. So let's try putting in the rivets right here. So I'm just gonna show you one, the way I guess it's done. It's a little bright, so I have to bear with me. And I don't got enough space on the table. Sucks too. I'm just gonna put one. Let me fix that first. This way is gonna be easier. So make sure everything is lined up. So I'm just gonna, I have marks, so I'm just gonna follow that. Now if you put a rivet in a hole that you just drilled, and if it shifts while drilling the second hole, it's going to be still lined up. There you go. Okay. Alright, everything is out here today. So it just slides onto the drill. I'm not gonna use the impact gun on this because I don't know if it's impact ready or not. But basically, if you go forward, if you go back, you can hear this click, which means it's at the end. I won't do too much because I think it's just threaded part, so it's gonna get damaged. Then you go forward, and it pulls the rivet in, and then you do it. So here you go. Yep. Put on slow speed. And that's it. Pop the rivet, but this is where I found the problem. To take the rivet out. Right. So comes out. But no matter what you do, you can't really take it out. So you need to use pliers of some sort. Come on. Ta-da! It comes out. So I think that's the biggest problem. It is a lot less effort to put them in and out. Just something I need to see. I think the pieces don't go far enough to hit this. Maybe if I cut this back, I'll see how it works. Let me come back to this and see if we can fix it so the rivet does come out easily. Alright, let me show you what's inside this thing. So it's basically a threaded shaft with like a coupler thing. Okay. Inside here. So as you thread this in, it pulls in. Then you have this piece here, right here, which is just a thing on the spring, and that pushes on this. I'm just gonna call them grabbers, and that grabbers hold the rivet in place as it pulls, and as it pulls, it applies pressure on this piece and holds this clamp together. So let's see if we can do something to make it work a little bit better. I think what I can do is just lubricate it a little bit because it's just light grease right now, and that's it. Obviously if you drop the rivet inside the shank, well, the mandrel, I'm gonna have to take it apart to clean. So alright, so let me show you how it works inside and everything. So now it's assembled it together, didn't tighten it yet. It's 4th of July, so there's going to be lots of explosions. This is on, come on, work. Why are you in the focus? Come on. Anyways, oh, that works. Okay, this part is on the spring, so it feels like it's a little bit jammed. So this is a little jammed, so I'm going to put a little bit of lube on this part. Now when you put this part over, you have this thing which sits inside, needs to push on this part to open. Okay, so I don't think it pushes at all because I don't feel it when I thread it in. That means when the rivet gun is all the way out, right here, man, this is gonna be one crappy video, crappier than usual. So when this pushes on that thing below, it doesn't push enough to open the jaws. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna chop top of this clear, because it's gonna work regardless. When it starts to pull back, it's gonna drop the rivet. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cut top of this. Okay, whatever. Okay, so what I did was, I'm try to show you, is I chopped a little bit off the top right here. Let's see if this will work better. Anyway, I chopped and made this sit a little bit deeper inside. So now we're gonna put the rivet in place. Just go backwards all the way. It slides in a little bit better. Right there. Before I didn't do it, I may need to cut a little bit more, so we'll see. So let's try this. Let's see how it works. Same, I guess. Huh? No, this is much easier. Yeah, I need to cut more. I just need to chop it a little bit more. I feel it's loose, so just jam a little bit inside. Yeah, this works better. So yeah, I just need to cut a little bit more, and I think it'll be good. And this is, ladies, is how you get a cheap tool, very cheap tool. Oops. And make it work, I guess. Regular pliers would work better here. For this part, I'm just gonna leave it for next day. Carrying on. So I thought I really was done with all the wires. I was wrong! Anyways, I pulled out this mini more again from that point. That's the inside part, and I have this more wires that I need to pull out that way. It never ends, really. It never ends. So this car actually had cruise control, which was very nice, I guess, at the time. Well, now it doesn't. So, but before it did. So this was a nice car overall, I think. When it was in, you know, driving condition, because it doesn't have much rust at all. So, yeah. The wire nightmare. So the next thing, I need to mount the gauge cluster, but you know, the original dashboard is far away in the garbage somewhere. So, I'm just taking it apart, and I'm gonna add something here on the bottom across this too, like a plate or something, so I can use the steering mount to mount this too. So it's just going to be a plate across probably, and then U-bolts here and here for the steering, and that should secure it extremely well. I'm going to put that reinforcement plate in the back so it doesn't rip out the plastic. Yeah, and when it's out like this, you can just go boom, I have a full tank of gas. Oh yeah, baby. Like normal temperature, and like, oh baby, and we're going way over 150. This car's never do this, but boop, like Yeah, you can just play with it once apart. I'm gonna wash it a little bit, clean it, because there's a lot of dust. And yeah, and I need to make the hood, which by the way it looks, I can just do it fairly easy later on, but I might just do it now. Alright, I'm gonna show you what I did so far. Is added the whole piece right here on the bottom, and I riveted here and there in 3 spots. Hopefully that's enough. It feels very solid, so it's good. And I made a little thingy to reinforce where the rivets go. So that should be solid enough. I want to still make the hood right now, because I can just rivet it right away. So I can put 1, 2, 3 rivets, 6 rivets total, and that will make the hood. And I'll just a little duct tape, and that's it. Now definitely it's not gonna work right now because of 2 wires that I cut. So I need to reconnect those wires before this whole thing will function again. Really I just need it for tack, speedo, and the fuel level. Though the temperature does work, but it just stays on O. If it moves from O to like R, the engine is dead. It's just the way they're made. Oil pressure is literally a switch, so just either L or normal or H, and the voltage actually works. You can actually see the voltage. I think L is normal for this, so I don't know, but the voltage definitely works. The reason these gauges suck, I don't know if I can see. So this is the temperature. You can see the temperature one here. And you see this guy here. Come on, you. The little diode. So this diode prevents it from, exceeding H, the normal, really easily. So the gauge is fairly false. It'll get to H and stay. Oh, not H. I mean, go to normal and stay at normal until it's too late. So this diode is the one that prevents it from working the way it's supposed to work. But if you remove the diode, you need to change the resistors to compensate. And I don't want to mess with it because I'm lazy. And plus I have another gauge I can put on. So I'm going to have another gauge that tells temperature. Oil pressure and oil temperature. That's the 3 gauges I'm hopefully won't be lazy enough to install. So I'll put them on. I'll show you later how I wire them, but it's plus, minus, and signal. That's all that makes it work. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna clean, assemble, put the hood on, and call it a day. Okie dokie. I made the hood. So it's hooded cluster now. So you should be able to see the gauges a little bit better. I'm gonna when it's gonna be in the car, I'm gonna trim it a little bit so it looks better. I need to see how it's gonna be, angles of dingles and stuff like that. Now I can actually put it together. I want to wipe it a little bit with a moist towel it. Alrighty, so I did this part. Woo! So when the driver sits roughly here, yeah, they can see the speed and the tack very easily. The other gauges you can't really see that well, but that's alright. Like I said before, only the fuel gauge works, and you can kind of glance at it once in a while. The lights are here, so you can see if there's something wrong, but again, nobody's paying attention to any of that, so while racing, as much as you like to stress out. But here's the ignition switch, and it fits very well on the other side, like where it's now. So I'm gonna mount it there. It's just perfect spot for it. The wires, there's more wires. Like I didn't realize then they have this one. I don't know what it's for. this one is clutch switch, so this just got disconnected. I need to reconnect, but so you didn't disconnect from anywhere from here, so I need to figure out what the hell this is. And it's also going that way, so I don't know. It's white or Caucasian. No, just white. That's a bad joke. And just got a bunch of cables, so I can actually look up the manual and see if there's any of white 6-wire, fairly heavy gauge, and where it goes. So it just goes from here into the engine bay, because that's where the main power is from. So you have a fuse box here, right here, and that's fuse box basically for the inside of the car. All the main powers and heavy gauges, whatever, going to the engine bay inside there. So again, god damn it, another one. I mean, I only have this is wipers, so I'm keeping this. I'm gonna make something for the wiper switch. I got this, which I'm gonna cut. This is clutch, so the one I destroyed. And then just have the cluster, and that's it. I mean, that's all there's left, and hopefully it'll be all. I mean, I don't want to deal with wires anymore. It's not as hard, it's easy, it's very easy. It's just time consuming, because I've been spending, this is like my 3rd or 4th day. I'm gonna have to check the video to see how many hours and days I spent on this. This is ridiculous. Let's see. Actually, at this point, it might be easier to rewire the entire car instead of trying to sort out this wiring. But one costs money, this one is free, so this is free. This is where it's going to go for now. Yep. I need to shorten wires, cut them, trim them, and I guess I need to do the sensors, the 3 gauges that I talked about: the temperature, water temperature, oil temperature, and oil pressure. So those are gonna be coming up probably next week. Wait, next week I may not be. I don't know. Anyways, goodbye everyone. Whatever time I will work on this, I will work on this. I'll make a video of this. Ciao. This is quite annoying.